What's going on, guys? Aaron here. Welcome to my channel. Super excited to break down the first look at the trailer for Elden Ring, a new fantasy RPG game set in a fictional world by the Dark Souls creator Miyazaki and the Game of Thrones creator George R.R. Martin. So if you're like me, you're extremely excited about this because this is a collaboration of the creators of my favorite video game franchise, the Souls series, and my favorite TV show series. So let's break down the trailer. So here you can see what appears to be someone at an altar or a blacksmith station, and you can hear the sounds of the hammer. And this person is either breaking what is likely the Elden Ring or forging it, although I would bet on breaking it. It's obviously a very powerful object as light emulates from it every time it is struck, and you can see what looks like an earthquake crack on the floor, which may be the result of him breaking the ring. Now, George R.R. Martin was inspired by the Lord of the Ring books, and this opening trailer reminded me of the Lord of the Rings prologue that showed the One Ring being forged. We'll see what other parallels this game may draw from that franchise, as they both deal with a powerful ring at the center of the story. Also, one quick thing to note, although this trailer was shown at the Microsoft E3 press conference, it's not an Xbox exclusive. It will be releasing on the Xbox One, but it will also be released on the PS4 and the PC.
I doubt you could even imagine it.
The words, "I doubt you can even imagine it," have a double meaning here, because as the viewer, it's hard to imagine what is going on here at first glance. Now, the first thing you'll notice is this creature is holding an arm that has been severed off. Now, my first guess is the dead arm belongs to the person who was last wearing the Elden Ring, and that person's arm had to be chopped off in order to get the ring off. Now, it looks like this creature is literally sliding the severed arm onto one of its own like a glove, and you can see the dead hand come to life. It also appears that all the arms are connected to this creature's body, and they look forged together. There's different sized arms, different widths, different hands. It's as if this creature is collecting dead arms and adding them to its body. Could this creature be collecting the dead arms of past kings who wore the Elden Ring? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
That which commanded the stars, giving life its fullest brilliance.
Here we get a good look at the hammer that is either breaking the ring or forging the ring, and you can see the fragments flying around everywhere, and the light emulating from what is presumably the Elden Ring. Now we get another shot of the blacksmith striking down on the ring and light being emitted everywhere, signifying its power, which goes along with the voiceover in the background saying the Elden Ring could command the stars and give life its fullest brilliance.
The Elden Ring. Oh, Elden Ring.
Clearly, the world has gone to crap since the Elden Ring was destroyed, and you'll notice this soldier's body is slowly deteriorating by the look of her hand, and the fact that her arm has to be put back on. Now, the previous scene referenced that the Elden Ring gives life its fullest brilliance, so could the destruction of the Elden Ring then cause life to deteriorate and die? It certainly appears that way. I think this soldier was likely part of the army whose king had the Elden Ring and was defeated. Now, could we see the use of prosthetic arms as we saw in Miyazaki's recent game, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, where you could swap out arms and use it as different weapons? One theory about this soldier is it could be a character that we can control. Now, I doubt that because usually Miyazaki's RPG games, like Dark Souls, allows players to customize its own characters at the menu screen. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Shattered.
Alright, here we get a good look at the blacksmith hitting the ring with his hammer. Now watch in slow motion. As he hits the ring, his back starts to crack and shatter. Much like the soldier we just saw deteriorating. So clearly the ring is tied to being able to give life as well as take it away. Now we finally get a good look at one of the enemies we'll probably be fighting. Let's stop it here. There's a close-up shot of his spear, and there's probably an Easter egg hidden somewhere in these ornamental carvings, which will probably come out at some point. As we move forward, we get a nice look at this enemy's armor, and you can see that this enemy has no visible eyes through the helmet guard. Now the armor itself is beautiful and ornate, and there looks to be something carved on the chest plate, but it's hard to make out, so let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. As we finish the sequence, he buries his spear into a very large soldier, which is likely the one we'll see later on in the trailer. There's also a quick shot of the banner flag of the soldier who got stabbed, and it looks to be the symbol of the Elden Ring. So the woman we saw earlier and the one stabbed here are likely protectors of the Elden Ring, or at least were part of the army who recently possessed it. We also see shattered fragments from what we assume is from the Elden Ring. However, they could just be making us think that, and it could be something else entirely different.
Don't tell me you don't see it. Look up at the sky. It burns.
So this is the very large soldier who was stabbed just a moment ago, and you can see from the dead soldiers around him that he is extremely big. So maybe the soldiers that are the protectors of the Elden Ring, like this guy here, are giant super warriors or godlike creatures, possibly enhanced by the power of the Elden Ring. Now there's a little Easter egg here for Dark Souls fans. That sword in front of this soldier looks a lot like the Great Machete or the Man-Serpent Greatsword from Dark Souls. In any event, he has multiple swords and spears stuck through him, and he ends up burning up in flames. Again, the burning effect could be another status effect tied to the destruction of the Elden Ring, much like his counterpart, the woman soldier, had her own status effect as she was deteriorating. But go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Alright guys, so the end sequence, the blacksmith's body is continuing to deteriorate and crack until one final blow and a flash of light and the Elden Ring is likely destroyed. Now let's stop it here. This is the shot of a woman who is also deteriorating. You can see the cracks in her shoulder blades. This is not the same person using the hammer. The person using the hammer has a braid down the middle of his back, and he's a man. And she clearly has the face of a woman and doesn't have a braid. It looks like she's watching him destroy the ring and deteriorating just like he is. Maybe they're husband and wife, maybe they're brother and sister, or maybe they're some sort of Adam and Eve type characters. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And the trailer ends with her collapsing to the ground, and him collapsing to the ground as well, as their skin continues to crack and deteriorate as a result from him destroying what was likely the Elden Ring. But again, they could just be playing tricks on us here as to what exactly he was hammering and why. Couple notes on the game from Miyazaki's interview with Xbox Wire. Elden Ring will be the biggest game FromSoftware has made to date, and it will focus on RPG heavy elements as opposed to the recent melee combat of Sekiro. Miyazaki also said that collaborating with George R.R. Martin to create the Elden Ring mythos was a generally delightful experience and a source of wonderful inspiration. In turn, George R. R. Martin said that building the world of Elden Ring with Miyazaki was a real treat for him, and the graphics, mythos, and action RPG gameplay will deliver an unforgettable experience. Anyway, thanks guys for watching the video, and hit subscribe for more of the latest news on the Elden Ring, as well as more games and entertainment. See you guys soon.